Well, hello, my name is Bill Forst. I'm one of the 2 art instructors here at Barton Community College. And what I'll be doing today is just showing you a little bit about what you would learn inside of the Ceramics 1 course. And then we'll be taking a tour of the studio and looking at the facility and the equipment inside of the facility. So here goes. I'm on what's called a kick wheel. And so I'm going to take this piece of clay and make a cylinder out of it, which is one of the basics for Ceramics 1. Inside of Ceramics 1, you'll do all of the basics, which are pinch, coil, and slab. And then we get to the wheel techniques. So this is one of the wheel techniques. And once you learn how to make a bowl and a cylinder on the wheel, you can make anything at all on the wheel. So first thing to do is to bring it into center. So I start with what we call the volcano. So there's the volcano. Once we have the volcano, I press it down and slide to the side. And now we have the hockey puck. And from the hockey puck, we go to the middle and I open up and turn it into a donut. A donut with a very large hole in the middle. Once we have this, we have the basics then to begin to start the cylinder. Usually this is 12 o'clock on the wheel, this is 3 o'clock, this is 6 o'clock, that's 9 o'clock. So back here, I'm going to squeeze just a little bit at 6 o'clock and begin to allow the centrifugal force to bring the clay up. Well, since my name is Bill Forst, I'm using centrifugal force. I go over to the side at 3 o'clock, I squeeze ever so gently, and then follow the clay up, bridging at the top. I'm going to go for one more shape, one more pull, as a little bit of a collar in, and then over to the side one more time, and bringing up the side of the pot. Get up to the top, relax, release. Going to just even that out a little bit. And that's the basic cylinder that you would learn in Ceramics 1. If you go on to Ceramics 2 and then Pottery Seminar and then Independent Study, you'd learn some of the things that you can do with this basic cylinder. One of the things that I teach my more advanced students is something called fluting. And the fluting takes place by placing a finger on the inside, 2 fingers on the outside, and then creating a pushed out diagonal shape. So this is called fluting. Once it's fluted, I go back up to the top and I bring it back into round. And I'm going to just spread this rim out just a little bit. And another advanced technique then is just to give a little bit of motion to that top by adding some decorative elements up on the top. To finish it off, I will cut away the bottom and then undercut. And I turn this really low-tech tool around my pointed stick and place the pointed stick back into that groove and take the heaviness off of the bottom of the pot. I'm going to mop out my water on the inside so that I don't get cracks. And so these are some of the things that you would learn inside Ceramics 2. So that is a little vase. It starts out as a cylinder and then it's fluted and decorated. From here, I'll show you the process that this goes through after I clean my hands. Well, after working on the wheel, students can come over here to clean up. We have a double deep sink over here. We have antiseptic soap for them to use and paper towels. And just in case, if anybody would get something in their eye, we have our eye wash station over here. And it's just like at home. Everything gets piled up in the sink afterwards. And then all of our community tools get put away in different places. This is where we keep a lot of our community tools. In Ceramics 1, a small toolkit is purchased over at the bookstore, and that's used, but I do have a lot more of the advanced equipment for students to use. In the same area, this is the area that we glaze. We have Cone 05 oxidation glazes. We have many colored decorative slips. We keep an abundance of wax to wax projects, and I also mix all of our own high fire glazes and raku glazes that we use in the kilns that you'll see in just a moment. This part of the studio is used by students. We have student cubbies here, and this is where they keep their tools and their clay. I also have an abundance of shredded newspaper and regular newspaper and plastic that everybody uses. We take a lot of recycled paper, and we use it outdoors in our kilns. In this area here, we have a very large, the largest made, slab roller, and it's useful for making smaller slabs for the beginning students, and then the independent study students use it for much larger projects. The slabs are rolled out here with a very large, heavy roller, and then they're transferred to the canvas over here and worked on, and constructions are made on top of the canvas. As we move across the room here, you want to notice that we have brand new tables that are in the room, as well as brand new pneumatic chairs that adjust to the height that the students need to work at these tables. The tables were gifted to us from the funds left to the college by Bill McCowan. He was a longtime student here, and when he passed away recently, he left us an enormous sum of money to update our studios. So we brought in brand new tables, we brought in new chairs, we brought in a number of brand new wheels, and it's just given the place a whole new look. So along with this new look, we also have incorporated technology into the ceramics studio. We have a laptop in the room and also a large monitor that I can bring up the studio courses that are using ceramics, and student assignments can be given on the screen, and some assignments are completed outside of the studio. So the academic component of our ceramics classes is done outside of the studio, and that way we have an enormous amount of time to spend in the studio working on our projects. This area is the hand building area. The tables are where the students put together their slab, coil, and pinch pot assignments, and then as those are being processed through the kiln, they start out as wet clay. We have some sculptures that are still wet clay at the beginning here, and then we have some pieces that are bisque, which is the first firing before the glaze, and then we also have some finished glaze pieces. The slip and the glazes that I was talking about are on top of these pieces. This is the low fire commercial glazes. This is some of the slip work that's here, and these will eventually be covered with high fire glaze. And then these are the low fire colored glazes that we have inside of the classroom for everybody to use. Over here on the board is one of my low-tech methods of teaching. It's just a reminder as students come into the studio of what's due and when it's due, and if we have already completed it. And then we also use the skeleton whenever we're doing head studies or figure studies. And then just jokingly, it reminds us to be safe inside of the ceramics studio as we're working. Well, this is the kiln room, and this is where the bisqueware is going to be glazed, and then it's placed inside of these electric kilns. We have electric kilns and gas kilns here. It goes inside of the kiln, and once the kiln is loaded up, the lid is closed down, and we have some real state-of-the-art equipment here in that these are little computers that are attached to the kiln. We have a digital readout, and we program the kiln to go up in temperature and then down in temperature. It cools quite effectively, and what we get out at the end are these shiny pieces, and this is the glaze. The covering that looks matte has been melted by the heat of the kiln, and whenever it cools down properly, we get some wonderful colors out of these kilns. So these are our state-of-the-art electric kilns. We've been touring the ceramics studio here at Barton Community College, and if you do decide to take classes here, please sign up for a Ceramics 1 class, a Painting 1, a Drawing 1 class. One of the things that you get out of all of these classes is the ability to think critically. Artwork is a series of decisions based upon an information base that you have to integrate and synthesize into the problem that you're trying to solve. So we're constantly promoting critical thinking. And if you would like to attend the college on scholarship, please contact myself, Bill Forst, or Scott Arthur. My email address is forstb@bartoncccc.edu. We have scholarships available for you. You just send me your digital JPEGs and a letter of intent, and we will look that over and make a determination for your scholarship amount. I hope you take the time and the opportunity to come visit us and attend some of our classes. And thanks for visiting with us today.